several months ago on my husband, Bishop Charles H. Ellis III, telecast Amazing Grace, the Word Network audience were introduced to phenomenal women, the force of friendship. And these are 7 amazing women, including myself, from all over the country that make up the force of friendship. And because of the great response that we had from that show, we were invited to come back. And we are so excited and grateful to be here. Now, when we did that show, we had no idea all of the questions that would come on our Facebook page about friendship and how to establish and how to forge quality friendships, that we thought today would be a perfect day to come and share a little bit with you about friendship, how to establish friendships. And so on the set today are 5 incredible women that make up the force of friendship. We're missing 2 today because of their schedules, but I'm excited to introduce to you, starting on my left, Andrea Scott, all the way from Jacksonville, Florida. Hello. And then we have the fabulous Gloria Mayfield Banks from Baltimore, Maryland.
It's exciting to be here. Very exciting.
And right behind her, we have Katrina Harris Earl. Now, this is my girlfriend that used to live in Oakland, California. She got married, y'all. And now she lives in Chicago, Illinois. And she also has a home in Oakland, California. Katrina Harris Earl.
Yes, I'm excited to be here with you.
Welcome. And then last but certainly not least is my girlfriend all the way from Stone Mountain, Georgia, Miss Nora Sharif Borden.
Thank you for having me. It's a wonderful pleasure to be here.
Well, we're excited. We're going to loosen up. We're going to have a good time with you on today. And so, again, on today, we wanted to talk about friendship, how to establish quality friendship, and really answer some of the questions that we receive regarding friendship. But before we go into those questions, I'm sure you're wondering, I see these fabulous women, how they're from all over the country, how did they come together? And so to answer that question, I'm going to ask Gloria if she would share with you how all of us came together to become the force of friendship.
Oh, that is such a great question. We're going to ask that question so many times. Really having this type of friendship over 30 years when we added together is just amazing. And I'll tell you guys, this really started because we started businesses, entrepreneurial businesses with Mary Kay Cosmetics. And it evolved into something that we connected with. We fell in love with each other. We're from different parts of the country. We just connected because of our backgrounds. We got connected because of the laughter that we've had. We've got connected because of who we are to each other. But really, it started with our businesses. And our businesses are the things that has held us together. But it is because of the Mary Kay opportunity that brought us and sustained our friendship until we bonded the way that we have on so many levels.
Wow. And so, you know, what's really exciting is it was Mary Kay that brought us together, but we have forged our own friendship through that. Yes. But it is just amazing what one thing can bring you together, but it really is the relationship that keeps us together. And so I also want to mention that through this relationship, the force of friendship, this wonderful book came about, The Force of Friendship. And while I would love to take credit for that, I can't. And I want to introduce my girlfriend, who actually, in her prayer time, the Lord really impressed upon her to have her friends write this awesome book. And so I'm going to ask Nora if you would just tell us a little bit about how this book came about.
Well, it sounds like you did a pretty good job, Sister Ellis.
Thank you very much.
But like you said, in my prayer time, I was praying, and of course the Lord spoke to me and said for me to talk to my girlfriends about writing a book on friendship. And so, of course, we were vacationing in Hawaii, having breakfast, and I brought the idea to you guys. And you know what, Chris? I was like, oh, my goodness. You were so willing. You jumped right on board. It wasn't like, oh, let me think about it. I don't know how to write. You didn't even think about that. You said, yes, let's do this project. And it has been an amazing project. So I have to say thank you to all of you.
Absolutely. It has been an amazing project. And again, this book, it has 100 powerful inspirations. And for those of you that would love to check it out, you can go straight to our website, www.theforceoffriendship.com, to get your copy. So now we're going to move on to some of the questions that we received. And again, we had such an amazing response about friendship. We are on a mission. We are passionate about creating friendships, and we're passionate about, with all of what's going on in the world and with all of the negativity that's there. You know, we just finished an election, and, you know, just a lot that's going on. It means so much to have friendships that you can talk to and talk about current events and different things that are going on. And so the first question that we received, that so many of the viewers asked when we did our initial show, was, how do you find quality friendships, and how do you forge them? How do you maintain healthy friendships? And so I'm going to ask, and I'm just going to ask Andrea, do you want to just share a few tidbits on how do you maintain, or how do you even begin to find great friendships?
Sure. You know, that's a really great question. All of us have different friendships within different areas of our lives. We have great friendships with our siblings, with our sisters, and I know you have an amazing friendship with your sisters. And then we have other people from different parts of our lives, maybe sorority sisters, and then you have those of us that, like us, who work together and who play together. And a lot of it is through prayer. A lot of it is through circumstance. A lot of it is that you're drawn and attracted to people that you are alike. And I think for all of us, we have so many things in common. And the crazy thing is, it's not even that we have so many things in common. Our husbands have so many things in common, and our husbands are friends, and children are friends. And so, you know, I do think that who you are does attract into your life the like-minded people. So
Yes, and you know, there is something to be said that you attract who you are. Right, you attract who you are. And so in forging, you know, powerful friendships, you must first look inward, because in order to have great friendships, you must first be a good friend. And I know we can go on and on about how do you create friendships and forge them, but there were some other juicy questions that were asked, and sometimes it's very difficult when you have friendships. So one of the questions was, when you do have friendships, and let's say that some sensitive things happen within that friendship. And sometimes, I don't know about you, I can be a private person. We all can be private people when certain things happen in our lives. And sometimes nobody wants to feel vulnerable. Nobody wants to say, you know, my marriage isn't doing well, or whatever the issue may be. How do you allow yourself to be vulnerable? How do you allow yourself to let it all hang out? And so I'm going to ask Katrina if she can share a time in her life where she was willing to be vulnerable. She was willing to share with her girlfriends, when there's sometimes where you're like, no, I'm not going to say that, because if I tell them that, you know, it may change the dynamic of our relationship, or I just don't want them to know all my business, right? And so, Katrina, why did you feel comfortable, or if there was a time in your life where you felt like, I'm going to share this, but it was uncomfortable for you?
absolutely, Chris. Like yesterday, okay, all the time. I mean, these women first came into my life. You guys first came into my life when I was 24, and I was single until I was 45. And as a single Christian woman looking for great examples of great relationships, you guys provided that for me. But there were so many times that I didn't make great choices, and I'm so grateful now that I have an amazing husband. But I was vulnerable to so many of you each time. Some of you walked up to me and said, no, that's not the one. Okay.
Get rid of him.
But
He ain't
so
the one.
many times, I mean, I think single women can all relate to the fact when you are crying at home on your pillow, you know, wanting to just, you know, have that powerful relationship, especially when you see great examples, and you guys provided that for me.
And
so
Katrina,
I'm so happy.
we're gonna be real transparent right now. Sister Nora.
Yes.
Sister Nora is the one that would say, oh, no, she is the one in this relationship that will call you up and say, okay, we need to have a conversation. So when you see her call you and she begins with,
Do I have your permission?
do I have your permission? Yes, she will say that. Do I have your permission to be honest with you?
Yes.
Trust me, you know she's going to tell you the truth. And so even in that, it tells us that you want to have friendships with individuals that will dare to tell you the truth. Anybody can tell you what you want to hear, but it really does take courage to hear the truth. Anybody else have a situation where you were willing to be vulnerable?
Well, I think it's important because if that person is truly your friend, why would you want to see them go down a dark road? And so you're right. And I believe that a person is not able to change anything unless they're told that they can change it. And so sometimes people don't say anything, and then the person is like, well, Dag, why didn't you tell me if you had just told me? So I think it is very important to be honest with your friends. And if you can't be honest with your friends, then you really got to reevaluate that friendship.
Yes.
Because it's not about hurting them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, a lot of what you're hearing and a lot of what we're talking about, you can actually find in our book in the chapter on friendship. Right. So again, you can go to www.theforceoffriendship.com, and you can pick up your copy. And you know what? There was something that you said that was just so important when you're talking about, being vulnerable and, having friends that will tell you the truth. One of the things that I so love about Nora is the fact that she will be truthful with you about everything, down to, I don't like your hair color. You can get your hair done
Oh, yes.
and really think the color
Absolutely.
is fabulous,
Oh, yes.
and you're looking like $1 million, and you see Nora, she's like, and exactly why is your hair purple or red or whatever color? But I love that, because if you don't want the truth, then you don't want to ask Nora. So again, quality friendships are people that will dare to tell you the truth and not only tell you what you want to hear. One of the other...
I want to add to that, because what has made this so amazing is that we have very different journeys, and we have very deep journeys. And my journey was married and with 2 small children, and then became a single parent because of domestic violence, and then fell in love and got married again. And through that journey, and each of us have journeys, right, we have had an opportunity to really explore the depth of our friendships, and the depth of our relationships, and the depth of the truth that we can tell each other. And let's not forget that certain girlfriends tell certain girlfriends different things.
Exactly.
Right, because different girlfriends have the ability to tell different girlfriends different things.
I know where
and
you're going with
different
that.
personalities, right? So, it really does matter. I wanted to say that one of the reasons that we have such deep friendship is because we want deep friendships.
Absolutely.
And because we're open to having girlfriends, and we're always open to other people being a part of this friendship. Absolutely. It's just the 7 of us wrote this book together. But I can tell you honestly, what about the times our children's graduations and their relationships have been a part of our conversations? And Nora, what do you think about it? It's like,
Right.
Andrea, did you, so we really have those kind of girlfriends. So I want to highlight the fact that we have different journeys, and those journeys have caused us to have phenomenal relationships, and they build our relationship.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, again, as you are looking for quality relationships and quality friendships, you need to have a list of, things that you're looking for.
Absolutely.
You're looking for
Absolutely.
friendships with individuals that are going to believe in you. You're looking for friendships with individuals that are willing to be honest and be truthful. Mm-hmm. You're looking for friendships with individuals where it's not one-sided. I can honestly say that if looking on this stage, all of us are very busy, extremely busy. But one thing I know for sure, that no matter where we are, whatever we're doing in our lives, if there's ever a crisis, crisis, or if there's ever a time where we need to pick up the phone to call and they know that it's important, you better know that they're going to call us back. So that's really important. And then, one of the other questions that we've gotten, that this is really sometimes very challenging, and I know there have been times in my life where I've been challenged with this, having friendships that are that can become unhealthy or become toxic. And sometimes even in, there are marriage situations where it's unhealthy and it's toxic, but it's what it's what you're used to. And sometimes even with friendships, even though it's not the best, you're afraid to get rid of it because you don't have anything to replace it with. So it really does take courage to say, I'm better than this. I deserve better than this. But sometimes it's challenging, it's difficult. And so that was one of the questions that came up, is how do you pull yourself away from relationships that have become toxic or unhealthy?
I like to answer that question. I actually had a friend that we went to church together, but just was always negative, and every time I left her presence, guys, I didn't feel good. And so I took her to lunch, and I said, I want to have a conversation with you. And I would love for our friendship to continue, but I think that that's going to be up to you. And I shared with her my thoughts, and she said, wow, I never realized that I was being that way. She said, I value our friendship. I want our friendship to continue. And she said, I'm so glad that you told me, because you totally could have walked away, and that would have been the end of a great, healthy friendship. So she said, thank you so much. So I think the important thing is to be honest. A lot of times people say they want to know the truth, but then when you tell them the truth, they walk away. But then you have to, I love what you, Chris, said, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And so that was one of the best things that I could have done, I believed. And I just believe that people cannot fix what they don't know that they need to fix. Right. And that's what a healthy, transparent, truthful relationship is all about.
I love that because Nora talked to her in love.
Yeah.
When she sat down with her, she talked to her in love. And when people ask me that question all the time, I always tell them the first point is to treat people the way you'd like to be treated.
Absolutely.
Right.
If you were to pull away from me for some reason, and I don't know why, that would be a very painful situation for me. So I really think about how would I want to be treated in that situation.
Right.
And Nora's example was one where you took a friend and you did it with love.
And I took her to lunch.
And did you
And
pay
people
for it?
don't, I sure did.
Oh, wow. That's
Okay.
a lot of love.
That's a lot of love.
I was going to say, sometimes I think we just forget as adults some of the basic things our parents taught us
Yes.
about friendship when we were teenagers and having those difficult relationships
Absolutely.
and the importance of selecting friends. And, I've prayed for great friendships, and that's how you guys have come into my life. So.
And the other part of that too, Chris, is if you don't want to change, if you want to say, then you have to make that decision. And I let her know that if that was something that she didn't want to change, then it would have to be at the end of our friendship, because I don't like drama. And it didn't make me feel good when I left her presence. And I wanted to feel good because of the qualities that I knew that she could actually bring to my life. So I'm so thankful to God that she was open. And another thing, I always pray and say, Lord, prepare her mind and her heart to receive that which I'm going to, say to her today. So I think that is, very important as well.
Also being on the receiving end.
Yes.
Sometimes we're the ones that have to pull away,
Right.
and sometimes we're the ones that have to change.
Yeah.
And so I want to invite people that if they want to have good girlfriends, and when we talked about it in the book, it was so powerful because each of us brought into the book what is our baseline and what we truly value about friendship. And so we've sometimes been on the receiving end.
Right.
And so if you really want to have good friends and you want to invest in that friendship, sometimes you're the one who has to change. So I'm just telling all of us to be open to that.
The other thing, Chris, is sometimes we think friendship is easy.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, it's like a marriage is not easy, but it's worth working towards. I mean, writing this book, guys, it was not easy. Trust me. But because we loved each other and we kind of bounced off each other and we fed off each other and the energy was just so powerful. I mean, there were times I was like, okay, this is not the day. I'm not going to do this today. But the love in the friendship really just draws you back. And I knew that the project was a good project.
Yeah.
Wow. And I love what you said, Nora, when you said that that friendship didn't make you feel good.
Right.
And sometimes we deny our own feelings,
Absolutely.
and we continue in a relationship even when our gut says it doesn't feel right and it doesn't feel good. And I love what you said, that because it wasn't feeling good, you did something about it. And
Right.
you know, one of the things that I say all the time, and I truly believe that, is that we should not play the victim role. And what I mean by
Absolutely.
that is we have to take personal responsibility for how we are treated. We can choose to allow people to treat us in such a way that, you know, we don't say anything. And so it's not them, it's us. I always say, if somebody is stepping on your foot and you don't tell them, hey, you're stepping on my foot and it doesn't feel good. Sometimes I found out, and you all tell me if you agree with this, that sometimes people don't even know they're stepping on your
Absolutely.
foot. So you bear the responsibility to say to them, you know what, you're on my foot and it hurts. And let me tell you, and I've learned this statement, when you do this, this is how it makes me feel. And so learning how to have sometimes those difficult conversations. I can remember many times, even with Nora, calling her and saying, I need to have a conversation with a certain person. And I remember saying, it doesn't make me feel good to have that conversation. But I remember Nora saying to me, when you take yourself out of it, take yourself out of it. And when you focus on the reason that you're confronting that person is
Absolutely.
out of love, and you're confronting that person so that that relationship can be better, then guess what? Don't allow, because perfect love casts out fear. And sometimes
Absolutely.
we have fear. And I always say, if you have fear dealing with a situation, you have to check your love.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying this out of love
Right.
and not out of fear.
Yeah.
You know, we've taught a lot about teaching people how to treat you. That's really what we're talking
Yeah.
about. How people treat me is part of my responsibility on letting them know how to treat me. And if you know how to treat me, and I'm certainly going to pay attention to how I'm going to treat you, I think it has made our relationship so much better.
And can I add to that too? That is so very important. It starts with you loving yourself.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know, a lot sometimes as women, because we're nurturers and we're givers and we're like, can't we all get along? We allow things to happen because we're
Yes.
so afraid of losing the relationship, and sometimes we don't
Yes,
realize that every relationship is not forever.
Right.
You know, that there are seasons, times, reasons, and all of those things. And so when you love yourself and value yourself,
Absolutely.
then you can find the courage
Absolutely.
to teach people how to treat you in the spirit of love.
Absolutely.
So that's important.
Absolutely.
That's so powerful.
Yeah.
So powerful.
Yeah.
That's exactly, you took the words right out of my mouth when I was thinking. We use the term season, reason, lifetime, that there are certain friends that come into your life for a season, some for a reason, and some for a lifetime.
Absolutely.
And I have had friends that, you know, later on you had to pull back from that relationship, or it turned more into a mentor relationship because you had kind of outgrown. Or I've had friends that have outgrown me, and so it's shifted and changed. But it's important for you to know when that season is up, and if it's for a lifetime, then it's worth, just like a marriage, it's worth sticking it out and having those courageous conversations like you did, Nora.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. And you know what? As we get ready to bring this segment to an end, I was reading in the chapter on friendship about what friendship is. And Sabrina Goodwin Monday, who is one of our girlfriends that her flight was delayed and she wasn't able to be with us on today, she wrote a very powerful piece in The Force of Friendship. And it's actually on page number 67. And I believe that's a great place to end this segment. And so I'm going to ask if Gloria could read page.
Now, you know I'm dyslexic.
Gloria.
Now, you know I'm dyslexic.
Did she say Gloria?
Okay, I can write it, but I ain't going to read it.
And that's our Harvard graduate. So get excited. So
goodness.
we're going to pass
That
this
is hilarious.
on to Andrea.
Okay, so what now?
On page 67,
There goes Kristen
Sabrina did
ad-libbing.
a great job on giving an acronym for friendship.
That's funny. And here's the thing, you got to know your friends, okay? Know their strengths. You got to know their strengths. And so here's the closing, here's the acronym. F is for finding a friend. Finding a friend takes being a friend. R, relax in knowing real friends always have your back. I, invest in the friendship. You must put time and energy into the relationship. H, hold your friends accountable. Be accountable. E, encourage your friends early and often. N, now pick up the phone and tell your friends you love and appreciate them. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And I appreciate you guys. W, we never know what tomorrow will bring. D, dismiss gossip and negativity with friends. Nothing good comes from it. P, positivity always prevails. S, sincere, open, honest communication is always best. H, help your friends see the good in themselves. I, in tough times, let friends know. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. And P, pray unceasingly for friends. You never know what they may be facing. Create memories for decades that will take you through your lifetime. Sabrina Goodwin Mundy.
That's beautiful.
That's awesome.
That's beautiful.
So awesome. We appreciate you so much for taking the time to join us on this special edition of the Word Network. Remember, you can check us out and purchase your book on our website at www.theforceoffriendship.com. Also, check us out on our social media, Instagram, Twitter. We would love to hear from you. God bless you, and remember, you have to be the friend that you want to have in your life. God bless.
Do you want to know what true friendship looks like?
We're 7 successful girlfriends celebrating 3 decades of friendship. We love with passion.
We live by faith and not by sight.
We laugh with boldness
and empower with intention.
Friendship is essential to the soul.
The Force of Friendship inspires love, power, strength, and success. Get your copy today.
7 women with 7 different personalities and one goal: to empower, to inform, and to equip women with the tools and inspiration for success. Don't wait, don't delay. Log on to theforceoffriendship.com and secure your copy today.